This is a can of tuna. So this is a mainstay for people and their families who are trying to stretch their budget or eat well in order to get some protein into them, usually by way of tuna salad sandwiches. So I was at the grocery store last weekend and I saw a lady shopping. She put a stack of these back on the shelf, muttering under her breath that can't afford that right now. What makes matters worse is that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his government recently held a retreat for themselves in sunny Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. This was back in the summer. You might remember seeing pictures of this. There were these breezy dockside pictures of the cabinet ministers all getting together for their summit in Charlottetown. To make things worse, the government was billing this as an affordability summit. The media ran with headlines calling this an affordability summit. Did they fix the affordability problem? No, but they did take pictures of themselves eating lobster on your dime in Charlottetown. Folks, we actually have some data back on this now. So kudos to the National Post, one of the only media outlets to cover this part. We, taxpayers, spent close to $500,000 on the Liberal government's affordability summit in Charlottetown. So again, Canadians are struggling to afford canned tuna, while the Trudeau government blows $500,000 on an affordability summit. More than $70,000 of that, by the way, was on food. Hey Siri, show me the definition of tone deaf. This is tone deaf. This government should not be spending your money on cabinet retreats and specialty summits anyway, period. Remember when they tried this back in Vancouver? They had an affordability summit there too. Still didn't fix the problem. Remember when Prime Minister Trudeau jetted to Manhattan for a poverty summit? Didn't fix poverty. Folks, this is outrageous. The government needs to be held account here. I'm urging all of you to email your member of parliament. Usually we'd say email the Prime Minister, and you can if you want to, but I would urge you to pick up your phone, crack open your laptop, even grab a pen and paper, okay, because it's free. You don't need to pay for a stamp if you're sending it to Parliament Hill. I would urge you to send a letter to your member of parliament. Tell them that you know that the Liberal government, the Trudeau government, spent close to $500,000 on an affordability summit of your money. Tell them this is not acceptable. Tell them what's happening in your life and with your family. If you are struggling to afford stuff like food and fuel and transportation and housing, tell them that. And this is key, okay? Tell them that these issues matter to you, especially if they're either a Liberal or an NDP member of Parliament. And there's a good reason why I'm telling you to do this, is because if you can get them to take this issue seriously, they might actually change their policies. So they might do things like scrap the carbon tax, okay? They might actually start reining in this ridiculous spending, okay? And what you need to tell them in this email or letter is that affordability is so important to you that if you don't see concrete actions, not announcements, not more fancy summits where they get to eat lobster while you fight to afford canned tuna, that if you don't see concrete actions to fix this, that you and a group of your friends are going to get together in their riding next time and door knock against them. Yeah, tell them you'll do that. That in the next election, you and a bunch of your buddies are going to get together in their riding where they need their votes, and you're going to door knock against them on this issue. We know that people are struggling right now to afford these basics. We know it is an insult to see the federal government blowing your money on a cabinet retreat, and it's especially gross for them to claim that this was about an affordability summit and to produce zero results for affordability. So this is why we're encouraging everybody to push back, to speak up, to stand up and be heard. Write your member of parliament, tell them to knock this off. If you need any help writing your member of parliament with tips and anything like that, go to our website, taxpayer.com. It's full of information on how you can fight for taxpayers.